Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me as always,
Erik Icarus, the rockin' main.
Bringing my money by Monday, Erik.
Woo!
Kids, you can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast. You can follow the shop at REC Comics, or come visit us at 7679 North Union Boulevard in Colorado Springs, and you can see the disaster himself around town. The later the bar stays open, the better for him, all right? He's not drinking, he's just having a little water at the bar, telling his stories to the young kids, all right? Oh, man. How you doing this week, buddy?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm excited to take the reins for a little bit.
Yeah. Erik's going to be in the shop next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. I think it's October 4th and 5th.
Yes, indeed.
So, because your boy is going to be on an island.
Island adventure with his family.
Yes. Some much needed...
Swiss Robbins?
Swiss Family Robinson.
Style, baby.
Swiss Robinson family. All right? So we're going to be doing a little training tomorrow, and then Erik's just going to hopefully not burn.
Day.
Yeah. It's going to be real good. It's going to be real good.
Where's the office? You're in the office, baby.
We had some good news today. Some big
very
news
interesting. Yes.
hit. When it looked like it was going to be a slow news day, we had D23 a few weeks ago. We were all very excited for possibly an X-Men announcement, maybe some more Fantastic Four info. We didn't really get much on the mutants, or other than the, hey guys, we are really doing this director, and that's it for Fantastic Four. So, but today, our boy Ryan Reynolds released a nice 2-minute cut, really giving us some updates on Deadpool 3, admitting to us that he has no idea what to do, but then he announced, as Hugh Jackman walked across in the video, that Hugh Jackman will be reprising the Wolverine role at least one more time for Deadpool 3.
Yes.
What do you think?
Oh my god. I mean, I think we all saw it coming.
No, I
don't think Hugh would have done a new X-Men movie. I think this is perfect. I think it'll be a little more than a cameo.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be in it. It'll be more than we got in Days of Future Past. Is that where he's Weapon X?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It'll be more than that. I don't think he'll be in like the whole movie.
No way, dude. I don't think.
You think it's gonna be a buddy cop kind of thing?
I think it's gonna be Deadpool and Logan.
Okay.
Doing things.
Okay.
I don't think you announced. It would be like if you were just going to have a smaller role for him, you just then be happy that he shows up.
Sure.
But the fact that they made an announcement for it,
right?
That they had a logo with the claws through the Deadpool emblem. I can't imagine. And if you're Hugh, if you're going to get yoked, and he looked pretty good in the background, just walking by, he was already Wolverined out.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like I think we all wanted this to happen, but he seemed very adamant about, like, he was putting the claws away.
Yep, Logan was his swan song, what hell of a way to go out.
Fantastic.
Come on.
It does stink to have that, but again, that's in the future. This will be more current,
sure.
So that still exists without any type of problems.
And now with all these floating timelines, with the MCU, I think it's okay now.
Yeah.
I think it rectifies a lot of stuff, dude.
Yes.
But will this be? It's got to be on the Disney banner at this point.
Oh,
at this point,
yes.
Okay, and it's R-rated from what I've heard.
Everything that's said, the writers of the script have been told that they to do what they do.
Okay.
So the experiment has been putting on Disney Plus the parental controls.
Sure.
That it does have Logan and both Deadpools. Like, we do have some rated R material
on Disney Plus.
But it would be a business suicide to not at least try to do the Deadpool thing rated R. It sounds like
an interesting way around it, though. We've talked about it on previous shows, but I liked your idea if they were to go ahead with PG-13 style. Do you remember what you said? Yeah.
Then and it could fit in here.
It would work pretty well, actually,
with this Deadpool 3. And this is something that has come up on the internet too now. But the idea of, like, Deadpool knowing he's now part of Disney, trying to hold on because he knows he gets one F word. So he's really trying to hold on to it. And then you have Wolverine come in and just basically be like, who the F is this guy? Or something like that. And just destroy the whole thing. That would be funny, but I think it would be a big misstep for them not to, the soup works. Let's keep it going.
Sure.
We're going to be making it Cajun by adding the Canadian in there.
Hey, fair enough.
The Canadian Aussie. But I think it's a brilliant move. I think that this is a movie that you can... It's such an island unto itself because it really didn't fit in the X-Men universe either, even though they had obviously Colossus and Negasonic, but it was very much its own X thing in the X universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Logan had kind of become his own thing with that last film. So for them to try not to capitalize on it, I think is stupid. It's just going to be really interesting to see how they fold him in.
Into the I've got some ideas, but I think this obviously might come out years from now.
2024 is the release date
so
right now.
So we're gonna get a few more MCU movies before this, obviously.
Yes.
So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we get a Deadpool cameo in one of these MCU movies.
Agreed. I think that it would be really cool to get that. I couldn't tell you which movie. Right. Like I have no idea.
I don't know what good. Yeah, but seeing spoilers, Blade in Eternals was a little weird.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not out of the realm to say that he would show up in some rando Marvel property. But
I think his cameos would be really fun. It would be cool if the next until Deadpool 3 came out, if we just started seeing Deadpool having cameos and other things would be kind of
That'd
cool.
Be funny, yeah.
And what are they going to go with? Because Deadpool 2 kind of ended in a way where things happened and Cable is now here.
Yes, which that's going to be funny.
Vanessa has been saved.
Right.
So there's been some time things. Mm-hmm. Time travel is always weird. We are in the time travel kind of phase, the multiversal phase. So... they really have to have some kid gloves. There was also some leaked footage from the Loki 2 trailer, which looked fantastic. Okay. Literally cell phone cam stuff where we see Loki being kind of ripped through time, like he's being pulled through different parts, different universes. So, we're in it, guys. This is the multiverse saga. There's going to be all kinds of wild stuff. The cliche, but whatever you think you don't.
Sure.
But they're going to have to cap it off, though.
They have to. They have to tie this off.
Yes, it has to be a detriment to the multiverse for us to keep going in between them. Right. The incursions are a possibility. So because we really do need to cut off this kind of what do they call it? Occam's razor, this kind of MacGuffin that we've talked about several times.
Yes.
But the bringing back, we already got Patrick Stewart once. I don't know that we get him again, but we're totally fine.
I can maybe in Deadpool. Why not? At this point, why not?
Again, because the Logan events happen much later. We can still get to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be a really fun way to have. Just have an old Logan. 10 years from now.
Sure.
You don't have to get super jacked, just the arms.
Yeah, just the
arms.
If you want.
And then we do that incident, what they call the Westchester incident in Logan. Like, that could be something that we do years down the road and have it be a deep callback to Logan and just kind of set up that.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
It's X-Men. We do time travel, alternate universes all of the time.
It's kind of its thing.
The Phoenix, those things are just baked in to the
Days of Future Past. I mean, we already got the movie, but the comic book's a little bit different.
I think what we need to really put some thought into is what other X-Men do we get in the Deadpool movie?
Right.
Do we start seeing other X-Men in other properties? Because right now we have Miss Marvel, Namor, and I want to say there was a third person that they've made like the mutant reference to.
Okay.
We know that, in the comics, Namor is considered like the first mutant, even though Apocalypse is way older. Way older.
Yeah.
Nathaniel X is a man-made mutant, basically.
What's his origin? Apocalypse made him, right?
Apocalypse helps influence his research, and then they do some stuff together that allows Sinister to get abilities and everything.
Right.
He's rough. Basically, Mr. Sinister is Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's experimenting.
Yeah, which I thought that was an interesting
really
twist.
cool thing. I don't know if they come back to that, but it was a real. I love it when they talk about who Jack the Ripper.
Oh,
could be,
when they can do it well.
be.
I mean, From Hell, the book was great. I actually kind of like the movie.
Yeah, the movie's fine.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's a lot of hate, but it's not bad.
It's just the comic's better, and that's just it was of that time.
Sure.
But I do think that it would be fun to start seeing more mutants show up places, different characters.
Why not?
I
start planting those seeds.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I mean, it's kind of funny that Deadpool is going to be the first X property under the Disney umbrella. I did not see that coming. Actually,
you could have given me a billion years, and I would have never said, you know what Disney's going to do first for the X-Men is an R-rated Deadpool film
with Wolverine in it.
I hope that they keep their chutzpah about this and keep it rated R, because I think that they're going to have a lot of money to be made. And putting Hugh Jackman in there, I mean, they're going to be chasing that rated R #1.
They got to at this point.
Yeah.
Again, this will be the first R movie as well, released under the Disney banner too. So, I mean, a lot of cool stories you can tell with Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah.
So, and again, to your other question about what other mutants we might get, I mean, are we going to get the old gang besides Logan? Are we bringing back, who played Cyclops? I always forget.
James Marsden?
James Marsden. Did we get Famke?
Famke Jensen, yeah. I hope not, but I definitely don't want them to bring in the first class Uncanny X-Men. You know,
okay.
I don't care about Sansa Stark. What's her name?
It didn't matter.
Who cares?
Yeah, she's not popular anymore.
I'm not super into really the next generation after the first class. I love the first class
great
mutants,
movie.
But then that second generation in the first class universe,
it kind of just petered out. Unfortunately, I mean, that you talk about going out on a whimper, man. That X franchise just I mean, I'm not mad love and respect. It kicked off the genre.
Yeah.
That and Blade and the Raimi's Spider-Man, of course, kicked off the Marvel boom. And it's just funny how it went through some waves. The first three kind of killed the franchise a little. We get First Class, and it kind of ups it a little bit. We get Days of Future. It's going up. It's going up,
and then
Apocalypse, and then Days of Future, and then
Phoenix,
Dark Phoenix. Yeah, Dark Phoenix, and then it ends on New Mutants.
So, like you said, such a whimper. Yeah. But if the X-Men franchise is anything, it is mirroring its Phoenix counterpart, where it can rise and rise again. Yeah. And it'll be crazy that, something crazy like 9 X-related films in, we may actually get
a real Phoenix saga.
Yeah, get the beginning of a really strong X franchise.
Right. And I could see in 10, 15 years... Yeah. The Phoenix Saga being an endgame type of event.
I hope so.
Where everyone's so psyched, and it's been almost over a decade in building it.
The Shi'ar, the Imperial Guard.
Starjammers. We need it.
I want it so bad.
Yeah, and what better place to do it than Disney umbrella? Yeah. We all kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. It happened a lot sooner than I expected.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
I thought Marvel was going to just hold on to that dear life, and Sony's the only holdout, really. Yeah. And I guess Universal, technically, too.
Yeah, but here in a couple of years, the Universal pieces, I think it's just Hulk at this point.
Yep.
That's the Hulk and Spider-Man are the last two, not 100% under the umbrella. Hulk will be following soon, and we'll see if they do anything with Spider-Man.
Right. Oh man, Sony can't let go of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean
they're literally just collecting money while Marvel does the lifting.
And their Spider-Man games are huge.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the PlayStation, Sony would have sold Spider-Man back years ago, dude.
I think that's very true. Not to be left out this week, and maybe not in the film area, but Eric and I have been talking a lot about DC Comics and how they haven't really, here in the shop, I sell a lot of Marvel comics. I sell a bunch of different indie books, and then my third bestseller is DC as a whole. So not Image, not Boom, they're not outselling DC, but the independent range, I sell way more independent comics than I do DC comics. Right. We've joked about, and some people have even theorized that wouldn't it be interesting if DC Comics and Image Comics had some type of merger or a buyout of one or the other.
Right.
And Todd McFarlane, he has a big hate on for the he was treated poorly at Marvel. At least he feels he was, even though a lot of that regime is gone.
Oh, yeah.
He's even made comments of like, why would I ever do variant covers for Marvel? They're the competition. Blah blah blah. A couple episodes ago, we talked about Mark Silvestri coming over to DC to do the Deadly Duo,
yes,
which is going to be coming out in November. It's going to be a Joker and Batman miniseries written and drawn by Mark Silvestri, one of the original, or one of the Image guys. Mark has always been freelance. He's done stuff off and on for Marvel throughout the years. But I find it interesting that that they would go to DC.
Right.
And then it had been announced, and finally we get a little bit of a one-shot with Todd McFarlane doing Batman and Spawn. They have done this crossover in the late 90s, early 2000s. And this one is going to be written by Todd McFarlane and drawn by Greg Capullo, who obviously did that great Batman run with Snyder, and then huge, long-standing Spawn artist off and on. So my question to Eric is, what... If you and I guess that DC didn't do Todd wrong, but it's like this is the competition, and yes, we are getting Spawn in here,
right?
But I don't know, man. It's weird to me.
Okay,
it's a little weird to me that they would that Todd would do this now.
Right.
Last year, maybe a year and a half ago, McFarlane Toys got the licensing to do DC action figures. Yeah. So they've been the DC
that was
action
my shoe-in right there.
So they've been the DC action figure guy. Jim Lee, who's original Image 7, is the head of basically the head of DC Comics for lack of a better term. He's he's the co-publisher, executive, blah 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 blah. And I think he's been throwing his boy a bone.
Sure,
but it may be more of a symbiotic relationship.
I think at this point it is.
Yeah.
If the Todd gets the rights for the toys, like how many years ago was this?
It's not even 2 years.
Not even 2 years ago. I really think that maybe DC, maybe like you said, Jim, maybe it was a little influential. Saying, why you're making toys? Why don't you why not write?
Yeah.
I initially probably said, why not draw a cover, covers or a panel or something.
Yeah.
And it turned into like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
it's a one shot, so
one
it's
shot,
nothing crazy.
That's the crazy thing. So why not have him illustrate it too? I know he's not that big.
He just doesn't. He doesn't do interiors anymore.
He just doesn't.
He hasn't done interiors.
Could you imagine how big this book would be if he did the entire interior?
He still has it in his back pocket. That's the thing.
That's a good point.
Todd doesn't sign anything that he didn't work on,
sure,
or that doesn't have direct connection to his stuff. Whereas somebody like the late great Stan would sign anything you put in front of him.
Same with Jim. He signed that weird X-Men book.
Yeah, he signed. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, most artists do. So Todd hasn't really signed anything off the wall in years. So he has that in his back pocket for when he's old and wants to go to these. Because right now, I think he's got 3, maybe 4 private signings scheduled this year with CGC.
Okay,
he's been doing that quite a bit. So, he's still got it in his back pocket where one day, if he ever is hurting for money, which at this point I can't see him doing,
I think he's going to be just fine.
Then he can start doing those things. Sure. I know, yeah. His toys, the sports toys, although I think Hasbro just got the basketball licensing.
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't know if they're going to be able, if they're competing, but I haven't seen the McFarlane sports toys in quite a bit, but he had that license for years.
Jeez. Yeah, that's true. I think that's where they kind of started making their bones. Off of those sports toys.
Yeah, because nobody else was doing it. And, you could do them almost as statuesque type figures. Where they were, the baseball
motion.
Ones in motion. They were more desk. Yeah. they were more desk statues more than anything and affordable.
He should do that. Why not? He should do that. Like, I remember there was an awesome wave.
The horror ones. Yeah, he could do like...
because remember, real quick, I'm going to catch them up real quick. But Todd McFarlane had a wave of like the Twisted Land of Oz, which is one of my favorites. They're just
Faces of Madness.
Faces of Madness. They were like, respectively, it was the Wizard of Oz kind of really different perspective on him. It was very interesting to see Todd's perspective on Dorothy and the detail that went into the. Is it called the Twisted Land of Oz?
Yes, it is called the Twisted
so we
Land
have
of Oz. We have one figure here in the shop, which was the wizard.
Yeah, so that gives you an idea
very
of
steampunk.
Yeah, and then it's got it on the back.
Yeah.
The Dorothy. There's two Dorothys out there.
She's like bound and tied up. Like everything's just kind of monstrous.
Right, and then he did the this one called The Faces of Madness, which it was different. I don't necessarily want to say killers from history, but he did Jack the Ripper, Elizabeth Bathory. Very cool wave, but why not
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan, that's right.
I mean, it's probably just likeness rights, really.
Yeah,
like,
I was saying, why not just do famous killers, like some
Yeah.
celebrity killers? You could do an OJ.
Yeah.
Allegedly, sorry.
Allegedly
OJ.
Yeah, there you go. Do some lawbreakers.
Yeah.
Just change the names, you know? Like, Just, so like the initials are OJ, but it's like, it's not Orenthal.
The Orenthal James.
Yeah. You know, or maybe...
Or maybe does Amber Heard.
Oh my
her,
gosh.
like, pooping on a bed or something.
It writes itself. It writes
does,
itself.
yeah.
It makes me wonder, though. We've talked about this in the past. There was a rumor in the early 2000s that Image and DC there might be some type of buyout of Image Comics.
Right. But I think at this point, Image is doing just fine.
Image is definitely doing fine, not having some type of corporate overlord.
Right.
It wouldn't shock me if in our lifetime and soon, within the next 5-10 years, if a merger happened between the Image Comics and the DC Comics, I would not.
I think it's going to happen sooner than later.
I really do. As long as Jim is still there.
Right. Well, DC is... Oh, yeah, because he could be the
bridge.
The bridge, which I think that's perfect. But, I mean, DC as a company is hemorrhaging because of Warner Brothers. They're pushing all their movies back at this point. So they kind of need everything they can get at this point.
Yes.
And even if it has bringing in Todd McFarlane and Spawn joining up with Batman, I mean, it's they got to take what they can get at this point.
It wouldn't shock me if these two books were definitely like testers of the market because the thing is too, and I was having this conversation with a customer this week. I'm Batmaned out like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
I feel like more than half the books are Batman related or Batman derivatives, and nearly all of the black labels, like the Silvestri story is going to be a black label book. The Spawn's not, which I find to be interesting.
Very strange,
because it's like push it, man. If you're going to get Spawn for a one shot, go the top dollar on it. But there's going to be tons of variants for both. So. But it's just I'm Batmaned out.
Okay.
I think that this will move the needle. I think I'll be able to move a lot of these units. Both of the books, I think I'll be able to move the needle.
I am very excited for both of them.
Yes.
But I'm going to have to agree. Batman now, I mean, I know he's had a lot of titles over the years, but it's kind of like how Wolverine was in the 90s. Yeah. It was just, you get a little sick of seeing that one character.
And Batman has been all the best that DC can put forward. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of very interesting Batman stories, but earlier when I had opened a few months in, you were helping me do new books, and I think we counted over 20
Bat titles,
Bat derivative titles, including Harley Quinn, Joker, Nightwing, but things that stemmed from Batman, but just Bat related, like Bat in the title. It was like double digits, like 10, 15 of just miniseries, one shots. Whatever. And I mean, it's a lot.
It is because you still have the ongoing detective. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, detective's still going. Batman's still going.
Okay. Spectacular Batman.
Yeah, just right here we've got Batman Beyond the White Knight, Batman the Fortress, Batman One Bad Day, Batman the Audio Adventures, Detective, Harley Quinn. Let's see.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's Task Force X, but that's Jason Todd leading the team. But I mean, that's like Tim Drake, Robin, Nightwing. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's so much Bat related material.
Yeah,
but I guess
I mean, if it's selling, then I guess it's fine. But
it's selling
proprietary of the story. I mean, it's selling all right. I was getting ready. That was my question. It's not flying off the shelves.
No, it is not. Like, I'm not selling out of any Batman books.
Right.
And it's just, it's an oversaturation. It's not you, it's Batman.
Yeah.
There's just I like the character.
Oh, who doesn't?
When he's being written well, and that's the thing.
Even when he's not written well, it's pretty good.
I know. Yeah, bad Batman's still better than no Batman.
Yeah.
Which has kind of been, I feel like, the mantra of Bat-related films and Bat-related comics for years.
When you go in hindsight, though, you look at, the Batfleck, it wasn't bad.
No.
It's just funny. We hold Batman to such a high standard.
We do.
But he's so saturated at this point. I want to know, who is reading all of these, if you can tell me honestly, objectively, how many of them are good?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Get it in the comments. Let us know, like, read this, this, and this, and the rest is just eh.
Yeah.
And is the worst review you can give anything.
Yes.
So at least if you hate it, you're giving there's some passion.
It made you feel something,
Exactly.
even if you disliked
but
it.
if you're just, that's the worst.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these are,
And we'll definitely come back to these, to the Silvestri and the Todd books
Oh,
when they
excited.
come out in November. Oh, I am too.
Yeah,
I am too.
we'll see, yeah.
I actually do like the interiors that I've seen for the Silvestri Deadly Duo story.
Right.
And Capullo's always great. So,
oh, yeah. You
So
can't
I'm
go
not,
wrong
I'm
with
not
that.
worried about that. They haven't shown all the variants, but there's a ton. There's
happy
going to
hunting,
be
kids.
a ton.
Yeah.
Kids, that's our show. If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell as well to know when we have new product. Let us know in the comments below. Are you into Batman still? What are you reading? Are you definitely going to be picking these up? And if you need to, definitely pre-order, because I will go hard on the number ones, but after that, I will, of the Silvestri story, the twos will decrease, and by issue 4, if it's not going crazy,
if you didn't order it,
you're not getting it, all right?
Yeah.
Eric, do you have any final thoughts for us today?
I really want to start loving Batman again. They say the best way to miss someone is to let them go.
Yeah. If they come back to you, then they're yours.
meant to be. Batman, I'm letting you go.
Let's see.
Come
Let's
back
see.
to me.
It's coming back in November for Eric
Like
because
the
he loves Mark
Batarang,
Silvestri.
baby.
God dang it, kids. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Roman Chavez.
I'm still Eric Icarus.
We'll catch you on the next podcast.